Welcome to an overview of Ostendo inventory. A good place to start is to just have a look at the standard workflow screen, and we'll just take you through some of the main functions that are available, and then we'll go into an item and have a look at some of the basic settings. So this is very much an introduction. There is a lot of depth to the Ostendo inventory and what's available in terms of pricing, expiry date, serial tracking, batch tracking, grade control, colour, size, all of those aspects are available, so there's a lot to it. Just running through the main buttons, we've got inventory adjustments, and that's between multiple warehouses, multiple locations. Similarly, inventory transfers, there's quick transfers available, the ability to scan transfers between different warehouses, locations, inventory counts, mass replacement. This is where we need to replace items across a bill of material with a new item. Inventory availability, this particular screen's available from sales order entry and also job order entry, so while you're actually entering a line in a sales order, you can click on a little icon and it will give you the exact availability of that item, what the demand is in terms of all the sales orders, what the supply coming forward is from both production orders and purchase orders that you've placed. Inventory labels for barcoding. Pricing, so comprehensive in terms of the pricing area. A number of people in the food industry supplying the supermarkets use the pricing. It has options such as contract pricing for a period of time for an item to a group of customers or a specific customer can be set up, as well as standard discount matrix area. You can look at what you need to purchase or what you need to make from the factory based on your current lead times, what the level of stock is that you have, what your supply demand is, as well as combining with your sales forecasts. Inventory replenishment basically enables you to generate automatically all your purchase orders or your production orders based on MRP or material requirements planning. Constraint scheduling allows you to generate orders based on your factory capacity and current production plan, and the create required orders also enables the automatic generation of those orders. And down the bottom here, just a number of standard reports and inquiries that are suitable for inventory. So first off, we'll go and have a look at an item. To get to the item list, we can just click on the workflow items. And if we go into, let's say, there's a handle assembly as an example, you'll see that there's the standard inventory information that you'd expect to see. You can assign the particular item to a preferred supplier, as well as add in other suppliers. In this particular case, you'll see that, as well as say Daffodil Computer Supplies, this particular item can be bought from the UK Red Herald newspaper, and here's the overseas currency pricing and quantity breaks for that particular item. Additional inventory settings, and this really is where the default warehouse and location for that particular item is held. I might, for instance, go and say, okay, it's actually going to go to the secondary bulk location in terms of the way that that particular item is handled in my company. Hit save, that'll bring in the save area. There's pricing analysis group settings, subcategories can also be set for the particular item. Add-on sales. If I, for instance, when this particular item comes into a sales order, there's an add-on sale that I want to bring into the sales order, then I can add that in, and when I order the handle assembly, it will prompt me to see if I want to add on 2 of that particular item in the sales order process. Availability, which is available from the sales order, job order screen by line, gives me the current stock on hand by warehouse, location, site, and it will also, if my item has been ticked on for expiry date, batch control, serial number, it will also show me by batch, by expiry date, what's available in each warehouse. Against this screen, we have what's the equivalent of the old stock card system, a summary of every transaction. Here's a receipt going to an assembly order or factory order, and here's an issue, which is probably a final assembly. Taking that sub-assembly, the transaction is there. There's also the availability going forward, which can be by days, weeks, months going forward. And if I want to see what the supply orders in terms of purchasing and assembly receipts coming forward are versus demand for sales orders and requirements for my production, then this is available on order details as well. All this information is available directly from a sales order line for the order entry process. Typically, in terms of the screen settings, I would typically have it set up in terms of the categories, subcategories if required, what my sell prices are, on hand, available quantity, and then last cost, standard cost, average cost, depending on how my system's set up, reorder levels, lead times, and sometimes I'll have in there the primary supplier. Let's have a look. So hardware company, here's the main supplier hardware company for these particular items. That gives you a little bit of an overview on inventory. It's also important to note that Ostendo has a very strong bills of materials capability, multi-level, and in here we've got the bills of materials. If I go into this standard wagon as an example, then I've got a multi-level setting here. Here's my main assembly, here's what goes into the main assembly, and this rear wheel in this case is a sub-assembly. So we're not going to go into that in detail in this session, but in terms of the overall inventory setup of Ostendo, it's very robust, very visual and straightforward to set up and follow. So that's an overview of Ostendo inventory. We will be doing some more sessions in a bit more detail to supplement this video, but hopefully that gives you a snapshot at this point. If you require any information, please contact us.